Guys, we got another green one. Let's go turn that grime into shine. In today's episode, we are discussing how to pressure wash a house with bleach. So let's jump right in. Essentially, guys, there's two ways in which professionals will clean a house, and that is it's either called soft washing, which I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with that term, and the other one is downstreaming. Now, the technique that we're using here is called soft washing. If you guys are interested in seeing a downstreaming episode, I would suggest you go back into our archives, episode 3. It's called How to Pressure Wash a House with Chemicals. We are downstreaming there in that house. But anyway, this house here, the technique that we're using again, guys, it's called soft washing. And if you're wondering about the equipment that is being used in this job here by our lead, I would suggest go back to episode 1 where we go over the trailer setup. So the equipment that is being used here is an AR-45, and we are soft washing this with a 1.5% solution using our metering system or proportioner. And what you see the lead do here is every single house you go to, guys, you're going to have 4 sides, right? And what you're going to do is, whether you're downstreaming or soft washing, you're going to start on your dirtiest wall first. So that's what you saw at the beginning of this video here. The lead, he was on the side of the house that had the most algae, your molds, your mildews, whatever's organics that is growing on that wall. So he started on that dirty side. Then you're going to move on to your second dirtiest. Then you're going to move on to your third, and so forth. And then basically the house cleaning, house washing processes is just like that. You go first, you're going to sauce up the entire house, then you're going to spot treat, then you're going to come through and rinse. And this is exactly the process by which we do. As a company, we do about 600 washes a month. So, and it's something we've been doing for quite a while. So, we definitely have a system. Of course, you're watching this channel, guys. We're not going to say that this is the only way to do it, right? The Bubbles way is the only way to do it. Of course, there's multiple ways by which you could get the job done. But like I said, we've been in the business for 10 years, 600 houses a month. And, we got a system down packed. And in watching these videos, at least it gives you a jumping off point, something where, you at least have a foundation of how you want to do things and how you want to run your business. So anyway, going back here to this to this house wash. So you see the lead there, he's hitting high, he's hitting low every inch. The phase 1, you are not focused on making sure everything's clean, right? The phase 1 is all you're doing is you're making 100% sure that wall has sauce on it. Because again, guys, it's not pressure that cleans. As a matter of fact, talking about pressure washing, guys, the manufacturer, the people who actually make the siding, they do not recommend pressure washing. Pressure washing damages the siding. And then also you got to think about pressure washing. You would have to get a ladder, and that's really unsafe, and your liability goes through the roof, and you can damage other things as well. You can damage the siding, break windows, etc. So that's why professionals prefer this method. Again, it is actually what is recommended by the manufacturer for us to soft wash, because you're essentially hitting this with less than 200 psi, which is about the equivalent to what's coming out of a water hose. So you can't, with that small amount of pressure, you're not going to damage windows, you're not going to break screens or any of those things. So, but yeah, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the prep work. Of course, that happened off video. Now we are doing an episode where we're actually going to go through the whole process of Mr. Bubbles of doing prep work to be able to wash pressure wash a house with bleach. Anytime you're using, chemicals to kill organics, of course, you got to worry about plants and things of that nature. So before we even got started, we moved about, I want to say it was like 6, 7 potted plants away from this person's house. And then the other thing that we do, and you can actually see it in a couple spots there in the house, is we put painter's tape and we taped up every electrical outlet, including right there. You see on the video there, guys, where the AC unit is. You see blue tape around the box there. And then the other thing is the on the other side of the house, there's a Verizon box, and we put a bag over the Verizon box. Also, we tape it up, and then we put a bag over it. So, the reason why you want to do that, guys, no one wants to, a lot of people in in this new modern age work from home. You don't want to blow out somebody's internet, and then they got to get on a Zoom call, and then also, I mean, obviously you could start a house fire, and because the solution, whether you're downstreaming with a 6% or 50/50 mix, it's going to damage things, right, if it gets any outlet. So that's the number one thing. The first thing that we do when we pull up to a house is we go through, cover your Verizon box, cover the outlets. Also, we unplug anything that is plugged into said outlets, and then obviously your plant protection. We move any of the potted plants, and then also, if we feel we must, we also have tarps and bags, to be able to cover things that, maybe a potted plant that we can't move, or anything like that. So anyway, moving on here, what you're seeing now, guys, is my lead there. He's in a second part of that same phase. So a house wash system is divided into two phases. You have the sauce phase, where we're hitting the house here with the chemicals, and then you have the second part, which is the rinse phase. But within those two phases, within the actual sauce phase, you actually also have two parts, which is the spot treating. And spot treating, guys, is exactly as it sounds. So you see him walking around, and he is actually looking for areas where it's still black or green, or there's still organics on that wall, right? So that's what spot treating is. And this is very important because you don't want to overdo it with the chemical, right? That's not the point. The point of the chemical is just to use it enough to be able to kill those organics. Now, if you're wondering, or if you've always wondered, how is it that professionals are able to get a house wash done so quickly? Well, the bottom line, guys, is that it takes three things in order for you to make it in the pressure washing business, for you to thrive and succeed in the pressure washing business. And this is something that you will hear pretty much almost in every episode that we do. We're going to talk about these three things, and they're pretty simple, guys, but it's something that you have to learn to master. And number one is you need skill, right? And skill is something that only comes from experience. Guys, there are no shortcuts in that department. You know, that experience you're only going to acquire by being out there. It takes years being in a field, and in order to master that craft. And the other thing is, number two, guys, is you're going to need chemical knowledge, right? Professionals use several chemicals in order to get the job done right. So from your rust removal to your degreasers to the SH, or sodium hypochlorite, which is what we're using here in this house. The bottom line is you have to become familiar with all of these chemicals. So again, you need the skill, which comes from experience, being out in the field, mastering that craft. You need the chemical knowledge, and finally, guys, you need superior commercial grade equipment. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, there's a reason why professionals are able to get the job done in, pretty much less than an hour. Here at Mr. Bubbles, your typical house wash like this, will we were there for 38 minutes, and that's from the moment we pulled up to the moment we left. So 38 minutes. And also about pricing, guys, I've mentioned this before in this channel. It's something that I would say is slightly different about our channel versus other channels. In this channel, we talk about pricing. We will tell you what what we charge and what we think you should charge. And and the reason why we do that, guys, is because we want you to be able to be armed with as much information as possible as you go through this journey of starting your own pressure washing business, right? So this house here is I would say, man, it's like 9 out of 10 houses that we do is like this. It's the bread and butter of Mr. Bubbles. This is like we do probably about 14, 13, 14 houses exactly like this every day. And this customer here has been with us for 4 or 5 years. We do her house, if not every year, every other year. But a typical house like this, we're charging $399. And if you're wondering how we came up with that price, we do have a square footage price. But again, I mean, this is a customer we've been doing business with for years and years and years. We do try to go do estimates. Of course, I'm doing a video at least once a month where you guys will get to go out in the field with me and do estimates with me. But we do go on estimates, but we've been in the business for a long time. And so, a lot of the houses, a lot of the neighborhoods, we already know what our pricing and all of that is. Again, I mean, if you're starting a business, you don't want to go any price below $250. That's just, we don't recommend that. Equipment is expensive. Hoses break all the time. You got to buy parts. And when we were talking earlier about the superior commercial grade equipment, as you guys move on this journey, you're gonna have to upgrade your equipment. I when I first started my business, guys, my first pressure washer. Um, I don't know if you guys still remember Craigslist. I know people don't really use Craigslist like that anymore, but I got my first machine on Craigslist for $50, and then as the years went on, I went upgrading little by little. Oh, and by the way, guys, here in this going back to what we're doing here, pressure washing this house with bleach. He is now at the last phase. So he started on that wall, the wall before this one, where he's rinsing, and you see him rinsing windows. We want to get all of the chemical off of the wall. We do not leave the chemical on the wall. When we leave this house, it's got to be chemical free everywhere. And then you're also, as he comes through, you're gonna see he's also rinsing all of the plants. So that's very important because like I said, I mean, you don't want to be getting a phone call that your guy killed my plants. So make sure that plant protection is extremely very important. But anyway, going back to the equipment, guys, you're gonna, as the years, as you progress in your journey, you're going to upgrade your equipment little by little by little, and then you upgrade your marketing and your image. And by the way, guys, a couple guys have asked me in the comment section about our uniforms, and we get all of our uniforms. Pretty much all the pros in the industry order the uniforms from the same place, our shirts, and that's at Finprint. And I will put the actual website here for you guys. And yeah, it's a great place to order your shirts from. It does take, they have like I want to say a 3 to 5 week period. And they also have, people that design there for you. So it's not like you have to send them a design or anything like that. But so I highly recommend you pick those up. And then the other thing is our pants and our boots that we use out in the field. You will find those in the link below. We highly recommend you guys get those boots. They're the muck boots, the ones that come all the way up to the knee. It will keep your foot, pretty much dry all day. And then that's it, guys. I mean, as you see, we're coming through, and you're just rinsing everything. You're rinsing windows. You're rinsing the plants. You're rinsing the wall. And you want to make sure you get as much water on it as possible. And, the way you leave it is the way it's going to look tomorrow. And that's all I got for you guys today. I really, really appreciate you guys coming to my channel and watching this how to pressure wash a house with bleach video. I also highly recommend you guys watch the next one as well. And that episode, let me tell you, we surface cleaned one nasty, super moldy pea gravel driveway. So anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys over there.